Time to check in with CoinDesk Global Policy and Regulation Managing Editor Nick Day, who is also the editor of CoinDesk's State of Crypto newsletter. Hello, Nick.
Hey, good morning.
So big news on the regulatory front is the House is returning to vote on the infrastructure bill. Tell us what's going on with that.
Yeah, in a couple hours, the House of Representatives Rule Committee is expected to convene and start figuring out how they're going to approach this. And the House should be discussing and debating this. Over the weekend, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi seemed to indicate that, whatever the House does, they want to have it wrapped up by the 1st of October. So we have about a month for them to figure out, if they're going to make any changes or not. As of right now, it kind of looks like they're still leaning towards not making any amendments to the bill because that would require them to, send it back to the Senate for further negotiations. So the focus right now just seems to be on making sure there's enough votes to pass it as is, which in its present form would include the controversial crypto tax provision that the industry has been pushing back against for the last month.
So, Nick, is the fact that this is going to most likely go through as is, does it kind of point to sort of a weakness in the crypto industry itself to lobby Congress to get its way, if you will, in this kind of a proposal? Does it show that the crypto industry just now doesn't have as much bite as it might wish it did or thinks it does?
So I think that's really two questions, right? One is, on the lobbyist front. And I think, seeing how mobilized the industry became after the provision was first revealed kind of indicates that there is a thriving, group that's engaging with lawmakers. But, the way this provision was inserted, it was, the Treasury Department working with a handful of senators, and it was inserted, not last minute, but close to it into a 2,000-page bill. So it's one of those things where I'm not sure that any number of lobbying force could really handle. But as we saw, the entire industry got together, and maybe the broader conclusion is just where exactly do you engage with the lawmakers on this? Is it as the bill gets closer to completion? Is it, preparing, well ahead of time for something like this to happen?
Nick, anything do you expect to happen actually today?
Not really. So the House is convening, but right now it looks like the biggest questions that Nancy Pelosi has are, does she have enough votes to pass the bill? So a lot of just going to be wrangling, centrist Democrats that are threatening to revolt if, the bill's not brought before the $3.5 trillion Senate bill that's also being worked on. House progressives are threatening to revolt if the $3.5 trillion bill is not brought before the bipartisan bill is brought. So, there's just a lot of politicking going on in the background, and I think that's going to be the big story that we're watching for today.